We've been testing tracks since 1997 and nobody beats ATVTracks.net in price, quality, and selection. Nobody. Go far. Explore more. ATVTracks.net.
Hi, Gary from ATV Tracks. We are the largest track dealer in the world. We stock $30,000 to $100,000 worth of parts and inventory. We do drop ship 90% of our product from the factory directly to you, which saves double shipping. Shipped to the lower 48 states, no charge. Also out of the state of Washington, no sales tax. We specialize in tracks. We sell Kimpex commanders, we sell TJD, and we sell Camoplast, which is now called Camzo. Basically, if there's any questions about tracks, you need to call us. There's a lot of tracks that can be upgraded to your next machine, and there's a lot of them that cannot. We have a lot of videos on the internet there. Our website, ATVTracks.net, has a lot of information as far as installing them, a lot of great video rides, and a lot of tech tips. Coming soon now, we will have the video on the new Camoplast design 2017 model. Also coming soon will be the new Camzo snow bike track, which we will be able to sell this year, which will compete with some of the other competitors out there. Give us a call if you have any questions, 866-243-8359, Gary or Casper. Thank you.
ATVTracks.net, we're now going to do an angle of attack on the rear. A lot of people are still confused on this rod right here. The only thing that moves between this piece and this piece is nothing. It's solid steel. You cannot adjust spring pressure, you cannot adjust rubber pressure. The only thing you can do is make this tie rod longer or shorter. So let's say that this bolt is sitting up here. This is where your torsion arm is. It's connected to your lower control arm. I'm going to put it in a line here about an inch ahead. Okay? All I'm going to do is loosen this lug nut. I loosen the bolt right there. I'm going to move it out until it's perfectly straight. And then I'm going to put the bushing on top, and I'm going to pop it in there. Let's say it's up here. No problem. I'm just going to loosen this and move it in until that bolt is lined up perfectly straight. That's all you have to do. You cannot adjust any of this. Okay, so I'm going to keep going in. Oh, I'm pretty close right there. Okay, angle of attack, quick tips on adjusting the angle of attack on the front independent suspension of an ATV or a UTV. I'm going to turn around so you can see what we have. Basically, the UTV has a swivel plate, which is very similar to the rear. On an ATV, it's just a solid rod. You're still going to adjust it the same way. People don't understand that this bar right here, as you can see, I can move this out quite a bit. This bar right here is one piece. You cannot adjust the spring tension. You cannot adjust anything on this rod at all, period. The only adjustment you can make is you can make this shorter, you can make this longer. This has nothing to do with the spring pressure. So we have a bracket sitting right here. We want to make sure that the rear bogie wheel is 12 inches to the ground. If we were to measure this right now, it's approximately 14 inches if we measure right now. So what we need to do, this here is basically going to be the left front. Here's your bracket right here. Now, this bracket does not move. It's connected to your lower control arm. So as I make this longer, it pushes the track up. If I make it shorter, it pushes the track down. So I'm going to basically turn this in and out, loosen the lock nut, turn it in and out to where most of the time you have to push this rubber bushing. It pushes the front up, it lowers the back until you get 12¼ inches. That's all you have to do. A lot of times it's a lot easier instead of turning this, because this is kind of cumbersome with the your bracket for your steering limiter, to basically have this connected like this here, and all you're going to do, if it's right here, you're going to shorten the tie rod until it fits in there. If it's out here, you're going to lengthen it. Do this first and then connect it. So now we're going to adjust the angle of attack in the front. You'll notice a bubble in the front right here. Just to get it close, what we're going to do is this bracket, of course, is sitting on your machine, and this could be too long. What we're going to do is we're going to move it up here to where it's in the bubble. Now see how far this moves? it moves an inch. Just getting it close to the 12 inches there. So what I would have to do is take this tie rod in and move it in an inch. You know, so I move it in an inch. Meanwhile, this is sitting right here. Now, the bubble's right there. I'm very close. Okay, now I can make my final adjustments with this square part right here. Now, I'm close. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the bushings off, slide this bracket onto the bushing. So this is your bracket. You jack it up, and we're just going to set it right here to about, take a jack and lift it up there, stick something underneath there so you know that your bubble's pretty well close. Now, let's say your bracket is right here. I'm going to turn this in until it lines up to where I could just slide it on to the bracket. I'm going to push down, put it on there with the bushings. Let's say, see the bubble's still a close reference, let's say the bracket's out here. I'm just going to turn this by hand until it fits on this bolt straight up and down. Not here, straight up and down. Once I get on that, then I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to make sure I do it on cardboard so it moves back and forth. Then I'm going to measure this. This is a quick reference. The exact deal is 12 1/8 inches from the top of the bogey wheel to the ground. Once you get that adjusted, then you tighten these two nuts. This here is to make sure that the rubber, depending on where your bracket is, where some are closer, some are further. This just makes sure that the rubber is completely flat against this bracket here. Then you're going to tighten both of these. So same deal. This bolt's in here, you have your bushing on there, and it's right here. And you've already got it kind of set at 12, you know, with the bubble there. Move the tie rod in, connected. It's out here, move the tie rod in, connected. Now you can do your final adjustments with this one here, which is kind of tough because you can only make quarter turns at a time. 12 1/4 inches to the ground.
If you watch one of our videos, be sure to like this or hit the share button. This way, we put a lot of text tips and a lot of riding videos. You'll be able to be the first one to enjoy our rides on YouTube. Thank you.